Well, we're on air now.
I don't care. We're in. And here we go.
Are you doing that every show now? And here we go.
Yeah, that's going to be my new thing.
All right.
Until I figure out a way to make a Bane quote work.
A Bane quote work?
Yeah, like, I don't know. I just don't know.
Here's how you do it. What?
Victor has defeated you.
0 viewers yet. Where's all your peoples at?
They're your people that watch this. My people watch it afterwards.
No, it's your people.
T-Rev is...
Wow.
He's not here. I don't care. He can be angry with me later.
What the hell are you listening to? Like,
I am listening
legit.
to Galantis Peanut Butter Jelly. He's not here. I don't care.
Well, and I'm listening to us on...
Yeah. Which one of us is weirder? Evening, Melody.
Hi. Hey, the chat's working again.
Ooh.
Ooh. Well, at least if we have a stalker, it's a chick. I mean, there's that.
Yes.
Woo! I mean, I may have hired that person. Oh, wait, that's not public knowledge yet. One watching now. I feel so... Wow, this is already getting really weird in the live broadcast. I don't know what to say here.
I'll go ahead and say it.
No, hold on.
No.
Okay.
I can barely work right now with what's coming up next week.
What's coming up next week?
Like, it is hard for me to...
Star Wars.
Yeah, like, it's...
Wait, I was trying to decide if you're talking about the William April Paul Sharp class this weekend.
Mildly excited about that, but everything is eclipsed by Star Wars. Any other week, I'd be like, yes, I'm going to go train. And I was like, right now...
Whoa. I'm letting you train?
I'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, otherwise, it's just me standing on the back of the line like, I have nothing to add here.
It's never stopped me from adding things, Jack. Come on, we're in the media now. We make shit up. That's like in the handbook.
The best thing I can do at that class to help out is to get things off the top shelf because the rest of y'all can't.
There might be some other tall people there.
Not that I've seen. Like,
T. Reezy says he's 6'2" like me.
He a thin 6'2".
Oh,
Looking light. It might be the hair. I think he's counting the hair. Oh,
I'm legit 6'2" with no hair though.
When Homeboy called Trevor out on that thread that you like totally walked away from, when we were making fun of like the American infidel dude. I know I shouldn't have said his name just because like there's
whatever.
So
my response was like really
different. You were professional.
Which is weird. Like everyone was so disappointed in me too. Like wait, we tagged John, so he'd like.
I explicitly didn't tag you.
Well, like, that's because we've had a conversation about
they were like, where about John? I'm like, I don't need to bring him in on this.
I got this.
Somebody was like, you should go listen to Ballistic Radio, and all of them was like, don't you wish that evil on me, Ricky Bobby? That dude was coming hard.
Wow, you're coming hard, huh? Phrasing? Are we still doing phrasing?
Why do you have to make it that way every time?
Because this is not America's Best fucking dance crew, and you're not that one chick from. You gotta come harder if you're gonna. I
have no idea what you're referencing right now.
You are such a liar.
It's just
ABDC? You never watched America's Best Dance Crew?
Yeah, that's a no-go.
You lived in fucking Atlanta.
That doesn't mean I was a bebop boy, like out there on the piece of cardboard dancing.
Oh, I could totally see you doing that.
Oh no, it's horrible.
You got the flat spot in the top of your head for it.
If in the club, I just lean on the wall and nod. Like that's what I'm doing. I'm a nodder. If you see me dance, I'm really drunk. Like, shouldn't be allowed to be around people drunk if you see me dancing. It's a horrible thing.
My goal now is to get you dancing at SHOT Show.
You know, I wish SHOT Show was a better party than what it is.
What do you mean, dude? We're gonna have an awesome party. Oh, that's right. You've never been to the like parties. You've been to like the without mentioning other names.
Yeah. Okay.
Those parties.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I have a high standard. I'm perfectly willing to be, blown out of the water and be told like I didn't do it right before. There are 5 people watching us just yammer.
4. One of them works for us. I think here. See, the problem is that like if I look at our metrics and like what actually gets attention, what doesn't get attention on Sunday nights, links on Sunday night via Facebook right around this time. Yeah.
Oh, Trevor says he'll be here.
I was just.
Yeah, you just said that.
We were already making fun of you.
Our computers look like NASCARs. Oh, look at this. That is what we need to get. We need to get like Ballistic Radio Leatherman jackets from high school with like sponsor logos all over them.
Did you say? Well, no, wait. I want to publicly shame you.
Feel free.
Now, what did you call them?
A Letterman jacket.
Okay, I heard Leatherman, and I'm like,
Weird.
Number 1, multitasker. Number 2, that's not right.
No, Letterman jackets like the old varsity jackets with just like sponsor logos. Completely whore ourselves out.
Aren't we already whoring ourselves out?
As much as we can.
You know what makes that hard? That whole only bending over for companies that make shit that works.
That is, I wish we had less scruples.
It'd make your job easier.
Oh, way easier. The phone calls would be, like, when I have to be talking to a company, I'm like, now, you really understand that this stuff needs to work, right? There's a lot of, like, there's some pauses. There's, like...
So, for those that don't know, Jack is the social media and accounts manager here at Ballistic Radio, which pretty much means that he is a dude selling Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Oh, man.
I'm posting another link saying, pre-show going now. Jack just, no, wait. This is where the magic, or not, happens. What do you think? Curb dickhead?
Oh, that's happening. I don't know. Last week we didn't get it. They might be a little upset with us.
I don't think they're upset with us. Why would they be upset with us?
I don't know. I'll be quiet now.
Yes, Glenn, Jack likes leather men. That's it. Here, get on your Facebook page that I hired you for, and
what are you doing here?
Oh,
Stop with the hand gesture.
You know what that means?
Stop with the hand gesture.
The first time I ever fucking did that is still the best time.
I thought you were having a stroke.
Like legit?
You were talking and then you drifted. I'm like, well, he'll come back in a second. And then you were gone and the hand was still going. I'm like, oh God, am I going to like have to stop him from swallowing his tongue or something?
I don't think people understand the amount of hours that I work during a week. I know that for like 1 hour of radio.
We're going over that today because somebody asked.
Well, now hold on. We'll kind of go over that today.
Well, I'm not going to go over everything. He asked if it was difficult to work for you.
I fucking made you breakfast and coffee this morning.
You did. That's some baller coffee. You put like chocolate shavings in that? What was that?
Pubes.
Delicious. Take a look at this.
Oh, I kind of want one, but without that on it. Maybe.
I think I know a guy.
I know several guys.
I
I know some girls too. which surprises the shit out of me. Trevor. So Trevor missed us calling him what? T-Rev, T-Reezy.
T-Reezy may be my favorite.
I think that's the one that we're not supposed to call him.
No, T-Rev was the one that
Is
was
it like, T-Rev?
T-Rev was the one that...
T-Rev when the walls came down?
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, man.
Now, to be fair, you were not there for that conversation. There's a group on Facebook that I'm not going to name because I don't want it to suck.
I got there as that was happening.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I literally joined that one as that went down because, like, I walked in. It's like, this is the end. The next guy is done. I'm like, oh.
When the walls came down. Which one am I not supposed to call you, Trevor? I want to make sure that I don't do it on live radio or something. Only 10 fuckers are watching this right now, so it could be the fact that maybe we don't push this at all during the week.
I don't
want to push it.
Yeah, though. Like this is the what weirds me out. The other ones have been viewed 200 times.
You know what this is to me? This is you actually like the show.
Yeah.
This is our thank you. I know it's like a shitty thank you. And I should, like,
the worst thank you.
No, there's worse thank yous. Trev.
So T-Rev is okay, but Trev is right out.
T-Rev, T-Reezy, T-Rev, or could just call him Tavor.
Ooh.
No.
You know.
No, he actually functions.
Oh.
I wonder if I'm one of the viewers and you're one of... You're definitely one of the viewers.
Yeah, I'm one of the viewers.
Am I one of the viewers? Probably.
No. You're a broadcaster. Tenacious.
What's funny is the amount of... Wow, Brandon. Brandon noticed that I trimmed my beard. That's not scary at all.
I didn't even notice when you came out today. You're like...
That makes it sound really weird. So yeah, I trim my beard because without violating any NDAs and without talking about anything I don't want to talk about, there's several $100,000 on the table in the next couple months. And apparently,
did not violate the NDAs.
I didn't name any names. I didn't say with whom. What?
That's just the tip of not violating the NDA.
I'm all for just the tip. I've done a lot of work with just the tip. Wow!
And this is what a car ride is like. Just so they know, like this is what six hours of these jokes.
No, there's me singing too loud. Will there be a beard oil infomercial today? Make sure your surefires aren't attached to the beard comb when...
Yeah, okay.
No, hold on, wait. Have they paid us money?
They will. The people that did this are friends of mine.
Have they done it yet?
If nothing, I can get a bunch of free beard oil for us. And they'll be...
I guess. None of these fuckers have paid us money either, so...
Okay, I use Dragon's Blood. This is done by some friends of mine in the Ren Fair world, and it's actually...
No, just give me some.
Oh.
Wow. That was a little premature there. Okay. So let's see. If my face starts burning or whatever.
I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Oh, this smells nice.
Yeah, it's a natural mix of dragon blood flowers, patchouli oil, and a bunch of other stuff. Like it's all natural.
Wait. Did you say patchouli?
Yeah, there's patchouli in that. But it's really it's a light patchouli. It's not like hit you in the face patchouli.
Oh God. As I stroke my beard. Yes.
Do you just rub it or do you brush it in?
I'm not borrowing your fucking beard brush.
No, don't do that. That thing has been there.
Are you like a 16-year-old baiting on webcam with your beard brush? Don't answer that. Just don't answer. Great. Oh, my hands are all...
No.
Anyway, the point I was making with the whole NDA thing was that apparently business people that don't fucking you know, care at all, but sign checks or like weird and like wear shirts and ties. I'm not gonna fucking wear a shirt and tie, but
Well, I mean,
looking less homeless,
yeah,
probably.
because it can't be two homeless-looking dudes.
No,
Like one of us needs to look professional. It can't be me.
it could be you. That's not what I hired you for.
That's fair.
I hired you to be the bigger, scarier, violenter version of me. And so far, so good. Brandon, I agree.
Brandon, those are some of my best friends. You gotta know everybody. That's how you get.
I didn't. No, he's not saying it's bad.
I'm,
That was totally my foot. What just happened?
I need an adult.
No.
Okay, I have to close Seth's book in the background. So I don't mistake that for something as I'm like reading.
Hey, legit. By the way, if you're looking for something cool to read, Seth Anderson Bailey has got some awesome books. Go check those out. He's working on his third one now. This fucker here is like a beta reader.
It's so good.
And a character. Are you a character in this book?
I'm a character in this one.
Sign your checks. I'm not a character in the book.
You know, you're hating until I introduce you to.
Yes.
Okay, so Hiram actually was like on my page and like made mention of an author. He was like, "That I love that author." I was like, "Yeah, he's a really good friend of mine." And like Hiram lost. He was like, "Oh my God, you know that guy?" I'm like, "I know that guy. That dude's carried me drunk."
What? That's impossible.
He had help.
No.
I was really hammered. I think he was there. I don't know. That was a Dragon Con story. So under no circumstances does he get repeated.
So just as an FYI, Douglas Nelson, you have no soul, and fuck you. He's not listening right now. Ooh, did you see Phil Olker's question?
Mm-mm. Oh, I might have.
It's off of the. Well, it's off the original post I did, but I like it.
No, I don't have it.
It's a good one. Is it possible for an instructor, good instructor?
Oh.
I like that question.
Okay.
See, what a lot of people don't realize is like, so I fit so many stereotypes as far as like what I look like. Yes, I'm a hype dwarf. Anyway,
you did look awfully hypish in that picture.
Sorry.
Book 3 actually does have a scene that should require a hype dwarf. Dwarf.
Is that like dwarf on golf?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Boom. Done. Whole show now about dwarf on golf and the many other dwarfs.
They couldn't make that now.
No.
Like at all.
You know, and Paul Sharp just posted a picture. Oh, we are going live soon. He posted a picture of himself golfing.
Yeah.
And my first thought was dwarf on golf. Paul Sharp is going to be instructing in the upcoming Unthinkable class.
There are a few spots left for that. The problem is most of the people in this right now are already going.
Yeah.
1, 2. Northern Minnesota, North Dakota area. I want to feel like Melody and I were just talking about this. Not off the top of my head. So I'm typing a reply that I just said out loud.
I know.
I can't help it. The whole video thing is like
Johnny Versace.
No. Versace.
Ew.
Snoochies. TTP. Oh boy.
Ew.
What?
Someone mentioned White Castle, and my body was like, no, not again.
No. Anyway, I'm like, wait a second.
I think there's a football game going on right now that's hurting our viewership.
All of them? Yes. Okay, that's my foot again. If you're trying to get a raise,
you are clearly in my foot zone here.
You know what, fucker? I'll fucking do the show like this if I fucking want to do it this way.
I don't know, I gotta...
Now what? I'm glad the chair didn't go over backwards and I like cracked my head open and
the laughter would never end. I don't believe in polls. I don't think they exist. They're made up by the government. What?
I just want to do this. I don't want to do the actual show. I like this way more.
Ballistic Google Hangout doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah, I don't think I can trick people into paying me for this.
By the way, I've been waiting to make the Ballistic Google Hangout joke for like weeks now.
Was there a joke? The Sig Pro is probably one of the most underrated cheap guns available today. And most of the reasons why people don't like it is because they can't fucking shoot double action pistols to save their life. That having been said, I have seen them have problems in like high round count classes before. Wow.
What?
I just saw like a random like clickbait link and like visually misinterpreted the photo.
Oh,
what's that look like to you?
Yeah, that's inappropriate. Dude, the picture of this draw stroke from Instagram is my favorite thing. That right there. That is.
Oh, that guy.
My Mola Lab gloves.
When Indonesian special forces are using my shit, bro.
Where's their space program?
No, that was last week's show.
Oh.
Sure. Yeah, so without going into detail.
We don't have much time.
Yeah. It's okay. I got this part down. We're not calling a guest. You've got the questions. If one of us is gonna fuck tonight up, it's gonna be you.
You know, you say that, you put that bad mojo on yourself, I'm gonna watch what happens to you.
I'm fine. I fucked this up because I meant to. I meant to post that prototype photo with the trigger explosion.
It's not just it's not just exposed, it's accessible.
The whole I'm carrying somewhere that it's not legal for me to carry was actually the part that I found interesting. So this is, you know what this reminds me of? Without naming any names, because I haven't posted it yet. The whole, I posted the video to see if anyone would notice. No, you didn't. You didn't at all. You fucking liar. Fuck yourself, Trevor. Trev. How's that?
Our trigger warning is 3.5 pounds.
That's lighter than I like. Even on a 1911.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I don't hate it.
It's not so much about risking felony arrests as it is to, you know, post evidence on social media.
I'm going to quote one of my favorite movies.
Because you never know when some asshole's going to come along and share it and get 24,000 fucking views on it. Whoops.
A lot of these kids care more about being criminals than committing.
Wow.
And put that into that context. Hi, Kat.
Alora, is that?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Kat.
1 minute.
Now I'm scared because I said I wasn't going to fuck up tonight. Now I'm like, wait a second. That's like bad mojo.
I told you, Ricky Bobby.
That's like rolling the dice just for no reason.
You're so bad about that, too. That and rolling a D12.
30 seconds.
This is the worst hype music. Like, let's... Oh.
Stand by. Here we go.
Welcome to Ballistic Radio! I'm your host, John Johnston. Remember, you can always listen to past shows at ballisticradio.com and get the latest behind-the-scenes info, arguments, silliness, photos that hurt people's feelings and their business, unfortunately. Stuff like that. Links to the Google Hangout that we are hosting right now for the hardcore fans at facebook.com/ballisticradio. Co-hosting with me this evening is Jack!
Yay!
How are you?
I'm all right. I'm, anticipating.
Star Wars?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you were like a good co-host, what you would have said is, no, the William April Paul Sharp class this coming weekend.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a bad hype man.
I'm a much better hype dwarf than you.
It is true.
You'd be like a hype orc, maybe?
Orca?
No.
Urukai.
Oh. No, that's too Tolkien.
We could get sued. Let's be careful.
Yeah. This segment brought to you by Wilson Combat. Wilson Combat, makers of the finest custom 1911s, ARs, and scatterguns since 1977, which was a good year for a lot of reasons. A legacy of quality, innovation, and service. Learn more about their firearms and accessories at www.wilsoncombat.com. And also, Eridus Industries and the patent-pending QDC quick-detach side saddle shell carrier. Available for pre-order, check out the new rigid interchangeable side saddle carrier, changing how you look at shotguns forever. Find out why Steve Fisher, Chris Fry, and myself all call it the best hard mount side saddle carrier ever invented. Would you like to know more? Visit eridusindustries.com. And since everyone's guessing, that is ARIDUS Industries. Most people don't know how to spell industries anymore because of autocorrect.com. So, it is the Facebook users question show again. It is the time where we answer the online users' questions, and it's kind of like the monthly throwaway show. And I apologize to those of you that would rather we not do this, but I'm not going to listen to you, so I'm actually not sorry at all. Sorry, not sorry.
It's like a clip show from a 90s sitcom.
Well, no, because it's actual new content. It's just not who people want to. Just anyway, there'll be someone cool on next week, I promise. Anyway, so let's get started. If we read your question on the air, you get entered to win some cool stuff, including a combat optic tool and some every tool is a weapon if you hold it right patches.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize we were giving away those patches.
Yeah. Well, that was the secret thumb. So anyway, Jack.
Alrighty, our first question comes from Corey Dean Utter. John, what are your thoughts on those who conceal carry and are wearing a ton of gun logo hats and shirts? My friends and family know I carry, but I don't want to telegraph that to criminal elements. Do you wear brand new clothing? Jack, interested in your response as well.
Well, I'm wearing an F3 tactical shirt right now, but usually, I think it depends, man, honestly. Just be aware if you are going to wear that stuff, you are not as invisible as you think you are. The whole gray man topic of conversation comes up. I am of multiple different opinions about that. Does it matter? Can people make you if you do that? Oh yeah, easy. It's kind of like if you wear a neutral colored ball cap and you've got your Oakleys on the back of your head and you're wearing like a brown t-shirt and some cargo pants and some Merrell hiking boots. Well, you either were in the military, wished you were in the military, or play a lot of Call of Duty and think that's how you're styled now. Yeah, it depends. It depends on what is appropriate for you to wear in your day-to-day life. I'll tell you the thing that actually bugs me is not so much people that do that. I'm not going to throw stones anyway because I do that. If you stick a bunch of, stuff on like your car, bumper stickers, things like that, I've been dying, and I can't think of a way to do it and actually get results that would be worthwhile, but I've been dying to like go through a mall parking lot and pick out the cars that I think have a gun stored in them, and see how close I could be or how often I'd be right. And that's actually the one that bugs me because, a lot of people don't really understand how bad guys get guns. A lot of the non-gun people especially. Well, they get them because they steal them. And one of the ways they steal them, the most is out of a car. Actually just happened to someone I know last night, and anyway, I don't need to go there, but if you do that stuff, realize that while you are not open carrying, you are doing something close to it. Plan accordingly. Do whatever makes you happy. But that's my thoughts on it. That wasn't like a great question to lead off with, Jack. You're fired now. Kidding.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Okay.
Kidding. Anyway, what was that?
No.
All right. They asked what you thought, but I don't care, and we've got to go to a break in 2 minutes. So ask another question.
You list Mark Davis. You've listed your preferred handgun ammo on the show before. Please list preferred 5.56 223 choices and why.
So what I want to have is a barrier blind load. What I mean by that is something that will ignore intermediate barriers and still perform well. The Black Hills loading of the TSX all coppers are really good at that. Spear gold dots, things of that nature. I know the Hornady tap is really popular, and on unobscured targets it works really well, especially the heavier 75 grain. That having been said, I don't know what I'm going to need to shoot through or not shoot through. I like having options. If I were wanting a load that was not going to work as well through intermediate barriers because of over penetration concerns, then I might, think more about a fragmenting load or something like that. I'll tell you what you really want to go do is look up the Dr. Gary Roberts articles on ammo selection for handgun rounds and also rifle rounds. If you do a Google search for DOC, GKR ammo selection, that should pop up and give you everything you would ever want to know about picking duty rounds for rifles, pistols, shotguns like that. You know, things like that. But yeah, so the TSX, the all copper, you know, the Barnes all copper bullets, the 62 grain trophy bonded bear claw. Generally, what you're looking for is a bonded soft point or something like that. But hey, it's time for the break. You're listening to Ballistic Radio.
With the progress made in the fight against AIDS, the world is now on the cusp of an incredible possibility. We could deliver an AIDS-free generation by 2020, but only if we act now. iHeartRadio has partnered with Red in the fight.
Oh God, Nate Perry.
Go to the Red Shop-a-thon to buy great Red products for the holidays and bid on amazing celebrity experiences.
Gamer.
It's a horrible movie.
Save lives. GILT.com/red. If you're looking for premium firearms and ammunition, then visit Kyle's Gun Shop.
Row patches.
Monday through Saturday, and they're known for carrying the highest quality firearms and ammunition in town. I will even place special orders for those hard to find items. Just ask. I know because I shop Kyle's regularly for quality firearms, personal defense ammo, and gift cards. Kyle's Gun Shop, just north of the Brentwood Plaza at 928 Hempstead Drive, Finneytown, or call 407.
Shouldn't we be talking right now or something
Probably.
like entertaining the video?
1 minute.
1 minute.
Probably not now.
Great.
Trevor, if I have anything to say about it, yes, there will be.
Get a Hitachi with like the radioactive trifoil, like just on it, like a black and red Hitachi.
Inappropriate.
What? Well, if you're volunteering, Eric, sure, go ahead. Don't. We're not talking about it.
Stand by.
888-400-0435. When it comes to Tom, we have you covered. 55 KRC.
Here we go.
Welcome back to the end of Ballistic. No, it's not actually. They need to pull this bumper music out. I've told them to. They haven't. This segment brought to you by Dark Star Gear. Whether you know the color of the boathouse at Hereford or only know the color of your mom's basement or the Cryptek holster you made, Dark Star Gear has a solution to your gear carrying needs. Check out their clip-on holster for small semi-autos and revolvers and their highly adjustable full-size AIWB holster. They even have a belt wrap sheath for popular fixed blade centerline knives to really tie your EDC together like that one rug I used to have. Designed, developed, and pressure tested for real life, not Instagram. Find out more at darkstargear.com. And also, Eritas Industries and the patent pending QDC Quick Detach Side Saddle Shell Carrier. Available now for pre-order. Would you like to know more? Desire to know more intensifies. Visit eritasindustries.com. We need to get like a second dead cat to put on the microphone there because it's really, really starting to sound like showtime late at night. Whoa. Anyway, we're doing the Facebook users question show. We are answering those of you that hang out too much on Facebook, your questions. And yeah, I can keep going and it's just going to segue bad. So I'm going to stop. You know the way most people spell Segway? Like the scooter?
Yeah.
Completely wrong.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, I know.
All right, from CJ Pierce. And I really like how this one is phrased. What would you say to someone who says they are intentionally avoiding things like listening to Ballistic Radio or getting professional training before getting their CCW because they have, quote, their own way of doing things and they don't want to overthink it, end quote. The person is a friend and I'm trying to educate them. So to answer this person's friend's question.
No. Well, if you don't listen to Ballistic Radio, I can't really blame you because I don't know my interview. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Jack's like, no, don't do that. I like having a job. No, seriously though. So I guarantee that if your idea of how this is going to go, if you find yourself in a violent encounter, is formed entirely off of your experience not ever having been in a violent encounter, you're wrong. I mean, you're wrong. They are amazingly quick and just surprising affairs. If someone's saying they don't want to overthink it, they have a clear misunderstanding of what they need to be doing. I mean, I don't know. I can't think of any halfway intelligent human being that would say something like that. So I can only come to the conclusion that your friend is teasing and trolling you. That's it. That's the only conclusion. I mean, because I know we're all grown up, adult, intelligent human beings that are able to rationally think through things and would never say something like that out of seriousness.
You have a lot more faith in humanity than I do.
I'm being sarcastic.
I know.
No, man. I mean, look, I know dudes that have been in multiple gunfights that still go take other people's classes, are still constantly trying to learn, things like that. If a dude like Pat Rogers, who is legendary and has been in all sorts of things, written the book on certain aspects to this, is still going to classes, then your buddy can go to classes. If you find like a resource and that person doesn't speak to you or you don't trust the quality of their information, that's one thing. But to completely discount trying to learn and better yourself is just ridiculous. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. Anyway, next question.
Alrighty. Coming from Hiram Grisham. I've always felt that a gun that is too small to trust to be able to make through a 1,000-round class, it was too small to carry as a primary. But with the proliferation of super subcompacts like the SIG 938, the Glock 42-43, I'd like to know your thoughts on how small is too small.
I think one of the problems in the industry today is the way we belittle people that don't do ideal things. And what I mean by that, so I carry a full-size service pistol with a weapon-mounted light and a reload and a fixed blade knife, and I've got a flashlight and OC spray. And I can get away with that because I don't have a boss, number one. I don't go to an office that has a dress code, number two. My situation allows for that. Now, one of the things that annoys me is if we encourage people not to carry at all because they're not carrying enough gun or something like that. Now, do I think a J-frame in your pocket is like going to get you through every situation you find yourself in? No. Nope. There are real life instances that I know of that have happened where that wouldn't do it. That having been said, if I have to pick between someone carrying, a suboptimal choice, a way that maybe I don't agree with, versus not carrying at all, as long as that person is safe and is not doing anything dangerous to themselves or others around them, cool. You just need to have a really clear understanding of what the limits and liabilities of whatever your chosen equipment is and plan accordingly. Your equipment's going to determine your tactics in some instances. A guy like Claude Werner, yeah, he can make a 50 or 100-yard shot with a J-frame. I believe that. The average person that carries a J-frame day in, day out, no. So if you find yourself in a situation where there's someone at like a Walmart and you got to take a shot down one of those long aisles, maybe you're going to have to get closer. Maybe you're going to have to do things different. I can create artificial scenarios where whatever you've chosen is not enough. I mean, we could play that game all day. So, yeah, I think that given the option, most people could probably carry more gun than they think they can. But some people can't, or some people are not willing to change their life or their lifestyle enough to do that. I'm not going to, look down on that person. unless they're making decisions about what I have to put in my holster and what I have to trust my life to, it's honestly not my concern. I think that a lot of people lose sight of that, and we are not being as good of an ambassador towards people that maybe we could sway more our direction, if that makes sense. You know, I think that's overlooked. You know, we like to eat our own a lot, as was evidenced online the other night when I get tagged in something and they, you know, my friends are expecting me to come make fun of this guy, and it's like, yeah, I can, but what's the point? And I get it. I mean, I get our desire to do that, but I don't think it's the best option always. And I know people are like, wait, is this John Johnston talking? Isn't he the guy that makes fun of people online? It's like, well, yeah, but I don't start out that way. They usually have to push me to it. So anyway, next question.
Alrighty, this one's actually for me, from Glenn Doss. He asked a two-part question. He asked what my everyday carry was, and how hard could it really be to work for Ballistic Radio? As to my everyday carry, Glenn, I carry either a Glock 17 or a Glock 34 because I'm huge. I can get away with that just about always with an X300 Ultra, a spare mag, a tourniquet, a knife. They all change pretty frequently, and a handheld light. As to like how hard it is to work for John and Ballistic Radio, it's not. It's just a very involved job. I don't think most people know what we do day in, day out.
Don't tell them. I don't want them copying us.
But it's definitely a job that keeps you on your toes and keeps you very involved. But so do I still get tomorrow off? Answer?
I guess.
Yes.
I guess. All right. Next question. We got 3 minutes left.
John C. McGuire, for basic handgun self-defense training, what is a good target to use?
For basic handgun self-defense training, what is a good target to use? I think the pistoltraining.com target or the TXT target from Deputy Chief Lee Weems designed it, and I'm drawing a blank on the company that makes it and also the name of his training company. I apologize, Lee. Either of those are pretty good. I could be a dork and plug the new target that we've designed, but I honestly don't think that's a good one to start out on. I think the other thing too that a lot of people, you know, sort of miss out on, and I'm stealing this from Super Dave, who was on just the other week, but not enough people do 25-yard bullseye training. You cannot be too accurate in solving a shooting problem, assuming that it does not slow you down to the point to get that accurate to where you are taking rounds and, you know, dying, because that, yeah. So the first match I ever shot, the only match I ever shot, I'm making it sound like I've shot a lot more matches. This guy, one of the stages you have to transition to strong hand only, and dude is like shooting really fast, not hitting anything. But when he transitions to strong hand only, he legit like jumps up in the air and like projects into this classic Camp Perry bullseye, and I'm like, what are you doing? Said if you're watching the video, you can see what we're talking about. Jack just made like a gesture that reminded me of that. But anyway, as far as targets, I mean, something that you do want to do is use humanoid targets that have realistic scoring zones that are probably smaller than you think. I think that a lot of people shoot at like 8-inch circles and think that's awesome. And I'm not saying that it's not, but you know, most of the good stuff to shoot at in the high center mass is like going to be under a 4x6 inch area. You know, so the other thing too is to keep in mind that anything below the diaphragm is probably not going to do much unless it hits the spine. So just use realistic targets. Do not, for any reason, use a B-27 target, the classic, you know, target when people think of silhouettes. That's got the scoring zone somewhere terrible, and there's actually been shootings where the person that had trained heavily on those targets lost, and one of the reasons why people think that is because the hits they made were not where they needed to be, because that's where they were used to shooting at. So anyway, let's see here. Well, we got like 10 seconds left before the break, so I'm going to talk for another 8 seconds. And then right about now, I'm going to tell you you're listening to Ballistic Radio, and we'll be right back.
Nice market.
What?
Nice market on that one.
Yeah. Nate Perry, I'm just like ignoring you completely because, yeah. Let's see. People are like messaging me on Facebook. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight.
'Cause we're all in the mood for a melody,
and
you got us feeling alright. La da 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 da.
No, I played bass.
How low can you go? Death row? What a buffalo! I can't help you. It's all randomized. What I love about this, when we do these, is the live chat doesn't show up. I haven't figured out how to get the live chat to show up while I'm watching it after it's been done. So a lot of times when we respond to the live chat, there's no explanation.
There's no context.
Yeah, just us going off. Thank you, Trevor.
Thank you. I could go somewhere that would stop. No, wait. What's a song I could sing that would be bad? When I did that Hosier song at karaoke that one night, that was.
I feel like you weren't doing that.
I was not 100% that day.
And I think you tried to take it someplace it shouldn't have.
Well, yeah.
Let's see. The genre we have no business singing in.
You guys need some minor third harmony. I like Lady Gaga. Maybe I'll do some Bad Romance on the next break.
But Bad Romance. Alejandro is actually my favorite Lady Gaga song.
Poker Face is pretty good.
No, we will not sing All About That Bass. That song is horrible.
Well, I'm all about them bass, no trouble.
No Trevor.
No Trev.
No Trev. All About That Bass. No Trev.
30 seconds.
Well, we gotta stop having fun again.
Ready to work.
Stand by. Here we go.
Welcome back to Ballistic Radio. This segment brought to you by TopGunSupply.com. TopGunSupply.com is your web source for fine firearms, parts, and accessories. True product specialists committed to delivering the highest level of customer support to you. They carry top name brands including Ed Brown, Wilson Combat, Les Bear, Sig Sauer, and many more, as well as premium AR pattern rifles. Whether you are looking to protect yourself or are a first-time gun buyer or a competitive shooter, TopGunSupply.com can satisfy your firearms needs. TopGunSupply.com, your premier source for SIG parts and accessories. I blame you for that. And also, Aridus Industries and the patent pending QDC Quick Detach Side Saddle Shell Carrier. Available now for pre-order. Would you like to know more? Visit eridusindustries.com. So we are doing the Facebook users question show and also a Google Hangout broadcast during the show, which I'm starting to enjoy. I'm not going to lie. I'm getting into doing this each week.
We have shows on shows on shows. It's like Inception.
It's a very meta, actually. We're doing 2 shows right now. What was that?
Nothing.
Okay. That's good.
Alrighty. From Jeff Egger, where specifically on a rifle or carbine do you think the best placement for a light is? And do you prefer constant, momentary, or both?
I think it depends on the context of what you're going to use the rifle for. I know, right? So generally the way I will set my rifles up, depending on how I'm going to activate them, which I will get to in a second, I will put the light either at 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock. So if you imagine the top of the rail is 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock is going to be a little to the right, 11 is going to be a little to the left. So I can come over the top of the gun and hit a clicky switch with the back of my thumb. If I put it on the 1 o'clock side, I can do it really easy. If it's on the 11 o'clock side, if I'm using a pressure pad, I generally just put that on the top of the rail. The way I have done it in the past, and keeping in mind most of the low light carbine stuff I have done has been in the shoot house with Pat Rogers, and there's a way to do it there. And essentially what we're just going to do is once the light is on, we're going to leave the light on. They probably know we're there, and we're just going to paint the room and make sure we don't miss any corners, things like that. That's for indoors. Outdoor use is a little different. There's all sorts of things to consider here. I'll tell you why I like the light on the 1 or 11 o'clock. You are going to probably get a shadow thrown by the barrel of the gun, no matter where you set the light up. I know a lot of guys will set the light up low, and the reason why I don't like that is because it will throw a shadow on a target that ends up being from about the waist up, and I really want to be able to see what someone is doing with their hands. Is it always going to throw a shadow right there? No, it's not. But if it happens at all, when it matters, it can be bad news bears, and I don't like bad news bears. So Jackie Earle Haley was pretty good in that movie too. It's better in The Watchmen, but you're in here with me. Sorry, favorite line in that movie. Where was I? Oh yeah, radio show. So, I know some guys will set the light up lower because they don't want the light to be obscured by any smoke from the rounds they fire. There's good reasoning behind pretty much anywhere you want to set a light up. I'm not going to say there's only one way to do it. There's really not. And the reason why I prefer it right now might not be the reason why I prefer it 3 or 4 years from now. I mean, I've changed my mind about stuff before. So as far as tape switches on rifles go, I use mainly Surefire lights for weapon mounted lights on long guns, mainly. And they've got a DG switch that mounts right to a Picatinny rail. I've had good luck with that. That having been said, if you're going to use a pressure pad, just be cognizant of the fact it's very, very easy to get a negligent light discharge. And that can be a problem for some people doing this for reals, yo. So anyway.
Alrighty. Ben Vandenberg, I hope I pronounced that correctly. John has repeatedly talked about having a less than lethal option. Do you consider an asp or a baseball bat less than lethal? And at the same time, would you consider an attacker with a bat or other blunt object to be a direct threat to your life?
Well, yeah. So, okay. A bat is lethal force. If you start swinging at somebody with a baseball bat, you are very, very, very easily capable of killing them. An asp baton is somewhat different, but something that a lot of people don't really consider is that if you are armed, and someone knocks you unconscious, you are no longer armed and they are. So there's actually a lot of different directions to think about this if you're going to take on the responsibility of being an armed citizen, professional, whatever, and trying to think about it in black and white terms. I think where a lot of people get hung up is, you know, the old force continuum charts or the force ladders, where you've got levels of force and you're not allowed to escalate it past, you know, one level above where they've responded, and those things are terrible. You know, it confuses people, and it's not a very good representation of how it works. And that's not to say that you are justified in going out and, you know, completely overreacting and over responding to something, but it's a very ambiguous subject that really requires a lot more time than we can get into right now. I mean, we could do an entire show about this. Was one of the questions what I used for a less lethal option?
It was actually a question from Derek Brenneman. How do you recommend carrying OC spray on a belt or in a pocket?
So I've got mine attached to my keychain. And the reason why I ask about this, an actual less lethal option would be something like mace or a taser. Carrying a taser as a civilian is, you know, I don't actually know a lot of people that do that. I will say this, taking a 30-second taser ride sounds absolutely terrifying to me, because 5 seconds is pretty awful, which is what the police units are rated for. As far as mace goes, I know this is a recent online conversation. Well, I can't think of any reason why as a civilian I would have that. Well, the reason why you would have that as a civilian is there are lots of assaults that are not shooting problems yet. And if we can handle them before they become a shooting problem, I will paint somebody orange all day. And when I say that, that's a lot of the OCs have like an orange dye or a different colored dye in them so that you can find who you just sprayed. You know, having a less lethal option, I think, is really important. I know something that a lot of people become concerned with is, well, if you shoot someone and you didn't use the less lethal option, are you going to get in trouble? Well, no, if you can legally justify having to shoot someone, the fact that you didn't try a less lethal option first, well, you were not able to. And once again, that's a topic that a lot of people get confused on. I'll tell you, if you're really interested about less lethals, and specifically OC spray, go talk to Chuck Haggard at Agile Training and Consulting. He does an OC class for civilians that is amazing. And yeah, that's all I've got to say about that.
It's a horrible segue.
I'm sorry.
Cincy Brian, what percentage of handgun practice should be done strong hand and weak hand only?
In the next question you should answer should be Trevor's in the Google Hangout chat with the pelvic grill, because we're going to talk about that for a second, probably after the break. So what percentage should be done strong hand or weak hand only? 30 to 40% between the two, you know. And the thing I will say about this, if you're going to practice it, you should really practice one hand draws. One hand draws to strong hand only. What does that mimic? Well, if you've got your offhand busy or whatever, I think that's a good thing to work on. If you're going to practice weak hand skills, I think one of the things that a lot of people overlook is picking a gun up off the ground and engaging a target with it. Here's why I think that's important. If you're going to use a gun weak hand only, the reason why you've done that is probably because your strong hand is no longer working, dominant hand, whatever you want to call it. So, and if our dominant hand quits working and we've already got the gun in our dominant hand, where does the gun end up? Well, the gun ends up on the ground. And a lot of people don't consider that. And I have been at classes where people have done ground starts before, and they stand there looking at the gun like they have no idea what's going on. They're like, how do I pick this up? Well, you know, yeah. So these hands, that's right. Backing up just a second, Richard Wilson in the online chat was talking about, unfortunately, some state laws are based on disparity of force. continuum? Yes, they are, but you do not have to take injury before you respond with deadly force. You know, you do not have to take a lethal or possibly lethal injury before you go, well, wait, I need to do something about this. And that's why I don't like the use of force continuums or ladders, because it makes people think that right there, that they have to respond after. Anyway, we got to go to break right now. You're listening to Ballistic Radio.
If you're looking for premium firearms and ammunition, then visit Kyle's Gun Shop in Finneytown. Kyle's is open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and they're known for carrying.
I guess I'm gonna skip over the Costa dick shot heard around the world.
Well, yeah, leave that part out. Don't talk about the dick shot, but talk about the pelvic girdle. Hey, it's Lee Weems.
What up?
And now I get to sound like I know what the fuck I'm talking about and quote Plaka's first and Stringsky. If deadly force is justified, other options need not be used.
Yo,
1 minute.
He's a smart motherfucker for a piggy.
I really am upset because he is right next door to like my hometown, and I never met him.
You know why that's really bad for you? He's got a Glock 18.
Oh,
and
actually,
he lets people shoot it. Hourly pay plus commission. We should go get real jobs.
Word.
30 seconds.
I'm gonna turn in an hourly rate to you.
What?
I'm gonna turn my hours into you from now on.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Stand by. There we go.
Welcome back to Ballistic Radio! This segment brought to you by Tac Strike Steel Target Systems, makers of the quarter scale steel target and the arch frame target stand, which are literally the best steel targets and target stands I've ever used. Hit their steel targets with more than 60,000 rounds of rifle and pistol ammunition without a single problem. For more information, visit them at tacstrike.com. And also, Aridus Industries and the patent pending QDC Quick Detached Side Saddle Shell Carrier. Available now for pre-order. Check out the new rigid interchangeable side saddle carrier, changing how you look at shotguns forever. Find out why Steve Fisher, Chris Fry, and myself all call it the best hard mount side saddle carrier ever invented. Would you like to know more? Desire to know more intensifies. Visit aridusindustries.com. So we are doing the Facebook users question show, and we're actually going to do a Google Hangout user question. Trev from San Francisco.
His question is, pelvic girdle shots, legit technique if better target areas are unavailable with the goal of reducing mobility for follow-up shots?
So one of the things that has been widely hinted at online that I'm sure if you're paying attention, you know, Melody Lauer from Lima Tunes and myself have been working on a class specifically for if you get into a shooting with your children present, which is a, in my opinion, underserved area of interest. You know, and as someone with 2 kids, that's something I've put a lot of thought into. And one of the scenarios that we've been working on is, you know, if for some reason someone were to grab your child and abduct them, and they've done that in front of you, and you feel that the only way to prevent your child from being killed once they get them wherever they're taking them is to take a shot at that. How do we do that? And what provides the least amount of risk for us as the shooter? And my first thought there was, well, I'll just make a headshot. Well, until we started working that in force on force and using a SIRT pistol and trying to see how that worked, that doesn't work so good. I mean, you could do it, or I could maybe do it if I absolutely had to, but it was not a shot I felt good about. mainly because there's a lot of movement that is in the head. I'll tell you somewhere that's not moving nearly as much is the hips and specifically the pelvic girdle. Is it a primary targeting zone if other areas are available? No. Is it something that's going to have an immediate effect with a handgun round? Probably not. Maybe, maybe not. Handgun rounds tend to just punch neat little holes in bone or just bounce off of them. So it's not like you're going to see, secondary projectiles via like bone fragments or things like it. It's not like you're going to completely disintegrate someone's hip if you hit them with one handgun round. Is it somewhere to shoot someone given no other option to try and limit mobility before you can take a better shot? Yeah, it is. And as someone that has discounted that in the past, I've been changing my mind about the utility of it, specifically in the circumstance that I talked about, but I can view I can create other scenarios in my head where it might make more sense too. So hopefully that answers that question. So yeah, anyway.
Alrighty. From Brandon Donahue. What distance and group size in terms of handgun accuracy would you consider one to be proficient enough to start speeding up?
If you cannot hit a 2-inch circle with consistency we'll start at 3 yards. 3 yards is where I like to start people. If you can't keep them in a 2-inch circle at 3 yards, you really need to be able to do that before you do much of anything else. If you're not able to do that at 3 yards, you've got something fundamentally wrong with how you are pressing the trigger, how you're aligning the sights, or how you are dealing with recoil, or some combination of the three. As far as speeding up goes, I think that whether or not you were able to make a shot at speed, you need to speed up before you can get quicker. If you don't push yourself past your failure point, you're not going to discover where your failure point is. You're not going to challenge yourself. You're not going to improve. A lot of the personal development I have done has been fueled by messing things up repeatedly until I don't mess them up anymore. The thing about that, though, is that when I'm doing that, I'm still practicing good technique. I'm not just wildly slinging rounds hoping that goes somewhere. An example of this, Mythbusters did a thing recently where they did 60 rounds on a target, and we're seeing how quick they could do it. It was 20 rounds, reload 20 rounds, reload 20 rounds. And they had Travis Tomasi on. He's an amazing shooter, and he did it in like 16.9. Pretty sure that was with a borrowed gun and a holster and mag pouch setup he had never used before, and it didn't look like he was trying that hard because he's a beast. But I tried it. We posted a video on the Facebook page. I did it like 16.7. But the thing about that is I had a lot of splits that were down in a 0.15, 0.16, somewhere in there. But I still had control of the gun. I was still doing something purposefully. So, as far as when you should start working on speed, once you've progressed past the fundamentals and the basics and are able to make good hits, I think that you should start thinking about it. But, your version of working on speed might not be the same as my version of working on speed. When I'm working on really going as quick as I can, most people are not going to be there and have that be like a line they're skirting. They're just going to be, doing whatever. And that's what you need to do, is sort of tailor that based off of your own skill level.
Okay. So. And speaking of instructing, Phil Oliker, is it possible for a good instructor not to have a beard, tattoo, and cool guy sunglasses?
Yes, it is. Most of the instructors I really, really respect and have learned the most from have none of those things. Last I checked, Pat Rogers, no beard, no tattoos that I've seen. I mean, he might, and I have no idea. I don't want to know. He wears some M frames, but they're not really cool guys. Sunglasses at this point, I don't think. I fit into that stereotype. I've got, a sunglass fetish. I've got tattoos, and I've had a beard since I was like 13. I did it before it was cool. You've probably never heard of this album.
Hipster.
I know, right? So, yeah. That's there are plenty of good instructors that don't have any of those things. There's plenty of good instructors that don't have past military experience or law enforcement experience. There's plenty of good instructors that do not fit into the stereotype that social media has created for what a good instructor looks like. You know, and I think that that is something that is sorely lacking, is sort of a discretion about, you know, this guy looks like what I think a good instructor looks like. He must be good, and no critical thought about the information they're presenting. So, yeah, Tom Givens, South Narc, you know, Craig Douglas, William April. I think he might have like a. I know Paul Sharp's got like a unicorn tattooed on him somewhere. But anyway, we got time for maybe a quick question. You got a quick one, Jack?
Quick one. Jeff Straub, who in your opinion are the top 5 people to listen to talk about self-defense with a firearm?
That's your idea of a quick question, you jerk.
You know all 5 like right off the top of your head.
I know more than 5. I can't pick 5, and now I'm going to make some of them mad because I'm friends, you know, with here Tom Givens, Craig Douglas, William April, Chuck Haggard, and it is like a travesty that not enough people know who he is. I got one left, huh? Who did I say? Who do I want to? God, it's like I'm picking the kickball team in school. I always got picked last.
Except whoever you pick last here may beat you up at a class, so keep that in mind.
Pat Rogers.
No.
Yeah, Pat Rogers is a national treasure, and no tattoos, no beard, national treasure. There's more though. I mean, Steve Fisher. There's William Petty's doing a lot of really cool vehicle stuff. Paul Sharp, who is going to be up at the Class and Alliance. Ernest Langdon, who mechanically is one of the most gifted shooters there is. You know, Eric Lund's teaching some great things. We've got Rob Hott for shotguns. There's all sorts of people that I can point to here.
Asked for the top 5, got the top 11.
Yeah, right?
There you go. That's not bad.
Well, do you have an actual quick question? Because we might have one more. Lynn Givens, yes. Sorry. Lee Weems? No. Well, I mean, he's a good instructor. He's not in my top 5. Sorry, Lee.
Tell us about body armor, where to get it, and what's good. I'm sorry, we don't have a lot of short answer questions left. I'll make sure to save some next time.
God.
So I don't get hit with anything.
You're lucky we're on live radio right now. If, for whatever reason, you feel that you need body armor, the last body armor that I bought was off of SKD Tactical, and they've got all sorts of options available for you. You've got to send them your information and an end user affidavit and stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. Honestly, for most civilians, unless they're doing work that requires it or classes that require it, I don't know. If you want to have it, it makes you feel better to have it. That's cool. I think there are probably better resource expenditures, but that's your business. That's not my business. So, yeah. So anyway, make sure you check out our website, ballisticradio.com, like our Facebook page at facebook.com/ballisticradio. That's how you get in on contests like these. Thanks for listening, everyone. As always, be safe and see you next week. Mom is so proud of me. Yeah. Want to figure out if the other show's coming in or not. Do you know if the other show's coming in tonight or not?
No, Dr. Bender says she's not coming in.
So we can use the studio for another couple minutes to finish up our hangout.
I mean, technically you're the last person here tonight, so.
Yo.
All right, let's see here. All Star Special.
I'm telling you, man, that is the only thing to order from Waffle House. Lee, that was an awesome photo.
AR 500 body armor is fucking heavy. And unless you've actually done work in body armor before to really appreciate how much that drags your ass down after a little while, you start like, I'll spend $400 more to save those 2 pounds.
It's 2 pounds of hurt too.
Yeah.
I've had AR 500 and now I've got Snappies, and it's not even a question of which I prefer.
Have you best way to track down good local instructors to start with? That's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. I know that's a crappy answer, but let's see. Yeah, you guys have other questions? It doesn't count for free shit, but
Yeah, we'll answer.
well. I want to say more songs. Hello, it's me.
Hello from the other side.
I just called to see. Wait, how's it go?
I just called the Sams. I don't know.
I just called to see if after all these years you'd like to meet.
I'm taking a break from that song. I like it, but I'm hearing it way too often.
Didn't we answer one of Glenn's questions?
I think that was a different Glenn.
Was it?
I think so.
Glenn's gotten free shit before, I'm pretty certain. I'm not 100% certain. Pretty certain. It was a sad day for Bengals fans as I watched my season collapse as Andy Dalton broke.
Horizontal for me. I don't know what anyone else likes, but I like horizontal.
You snuggled me that one time, and I'm like, yes. Yeah, horizontal. Vertical requires a draw that is going to be a little bit harder to do if a motherfucker jack size is like on top of you trying to kill your ass. Or you, not just your ass.
Oh,
wow, just a tip. Wait, what? Ruger Precision Rifle, I've not played with one. What scope would I put on it for $100,000?
That's a tough question, man. Like, once you look through good glass, you don't want to ever shoot anything else.
Oh. Yeah, I have no idea.
If I was going to...
Should I make an answer up?
I don't know. But if I was going to...
Wait, I don't do that.
Spend money on the rifle or the glass, I'd spend it on the glass.
So that you could look through the neighbor's window and have... This is like HD.
Get nice and close with it.
Oh, God.
Best camo pattern for a two-person smoking.
Cryptek?
Cryptek. Especially if it's a prototype.
Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. What else? What else do we have here? Shopkeeper, fetch me a horse. Horse.
Oh, horse.
Yeah,
I'll get right on.
We're not in Vegas yet.
Ropes.
Let's see. What else we got?
Ask something that's not about long-range shooting.
Yeah, because long-range shooting is something that I have zero interest in doing.
I love it, but it's not like what I need. It's just what I do to relax.
I will say that Wilson Combat 308 is pretty fucking baller. Full disclosure, Wilson Combat pays me money, so my opinion is like worth shit. But, you know, it's not worth shit. I mean, I'm actually pretty good about not just taking cash and blowing everybody just because I tip cash. But full disclosure, Wilson Combat pays me, but I like that 308 so far. Especially now that it's got an adjustable gas block.
Taking that thing to the range was so much fun.
The fact you get paid to fucking shoot, you're just like, this is awesome.
The best days are when you're like, can you go shoot this thing? I'm like, yep. Trevor, I'm glad you laughed. You lulled 10 times this hangout. I think this is probably one of our better ones.
Probably. Well, you know, there was no guest to not hear. That sort of helped. Stealth gear. I've not used it, but I bet I can look at it and give you an opinion.
I've never heard of it, so it must be doing its job.
Oh, hybrid holster.
No.
Oh, no, stealth gear. No. It's a nylon Kydex hybrid holster.
Johnny, whoever you are, nice troll, bro. Nice troll.
No, I think he's asking. So here's what makes me nervous about this. I've not used it, so I don't know if it does this, but I've seen it happen a lot. And I'm betting, just looking at this. The problem with hybrid holsters is that, so let's, here, we'll do this.
We'll get props.
Crops! Cops! Come and try and snatch my crops! Wait.
These pigs want to blow my house
down. Anyway.
Actually, heard that the other night.
Oh my God. We should put X-Gun and give it to you. So let's say this is the, whatever the soft material backing is this, okay? And this is your Kydex shell, all right? So your Kydex shell sits on top of the backing like that. Feel free to make masturbatory jokes here too, but so anyway, see how this is sort of flopping around like it's too hot, or, you know, it had too much to drink, something like that. Wow, I totally went there. What happens with the hybrid holsters is the sweat shield, the backing, whatever, will start to flex outward, especially if you're fat. All right, most of us, you know, on average, most Americans have a little extra. Gun guys seem to have a lot extra. Just saying.
I mean, when you're on the internet and you've got those Cheetos, it just tends to happen.
Well, so anyway, so what happens is two things. This folds over. This can either get introduced into the trigger guard because it's bent outwards, or and it's not an and, or it's not a binary. It can both happen. When people holster, they have to lever this out of the way to holster, so they end up muzzling themselves really fucking bad when they go to get the gun in. And that can cause massive issues. I hate hybrid holsters. And this is coming from someone that used one for probably the first 2 or 3 years I carried a gun after I got my concealed carry permit. If you are going to do a hybrid holster, the only one that I have personal experience with and seen that is mostly okay is going to be the CompTac Minotaur, the MTAC hybrid or whatever. And the reason for that is they use a cowhide with pig skin, so it's like a dual layer. It's really rigid, doesn't bend over as easily. I still don't like them. I don't think they're good ideas, and not enough people think about that. You can get a Kydex holster that is completely comfortable, that works really well. So not a fan. Whether or not that stealth gear does it, just looking at it, I'm like, not approving. So I don't know. I could be wrong though, you know. And like I said, full disclosure, I've not played with one of theirs specifically. Maybe they fixed it, but just looking at photos, I'm not getting any warm and fuzzies. So yeah, anyway. What else? Yeah, I mean, the MTAC's okay, and they get less okay the more you use them. And that's K-bar or clinch pick. I like the clinch pick a little bit better. Right now, I am using a special circumstances ceramic knife, so which works pretty well. Can do reverse grip edging with it. Locks in nice. So anyway. And we've actually got the Ballistic Radio Edition Maleficuses. We've got 2 of those left right now. I just confused the webcam with that. It's like, what are you doing in front of the camera?
Inappropriate.
Yeah. This is not a Hitachi. I don't know what to do. Yeah, the Shadow Tech knives are okay. They're heavy, and honestly, I've not been really impressed with their grip designs. I know you like them, Eric, but so is that a giveaway knife?
No, but there are 2 left for sale.
Yeah, not that one. That one's not for sale at all. How many cars can Jack deadlift? Fat Jack or in shape Jack?
Yeah, there is a real difference.
1970s Jack or 1950s Jack?
I got, when I was really in shape, I lifted up the back of a Ford Ranger in a deadlift. But I don't think that counts.
The back of a Ford Ranger? That's not where the engine is.
Yeah.
Fucking pussy.
Bumpers really cut into your hands.
Instructor's Euro could deadlift that
And
in
then,
his sleep.
and then roll under it and miss the target. Oh.
Yeah. Well, no, he wouldn't miss the target like after they edited it.
We'll fix it in post. No big deal.
I think that was one of your like things. You had like a moment when you started working for me. You're like, oh, we don't do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, huh? Okay.
Nate, I don't know my personal record, man. Truth be told, I haven't lifted seriously in like 4 or 5 years, and it's kind of been something that like I'm getting older, so I don't want to hurt myself anymore. And guys my age really can tear themselves up lifting heavy. There are other guys that do it fine, but like I'm fat and out of shape right now, so I try not to think about those days.
What?
He asked what my PR is, my personal record for a deadlift, and I'm not really sure.
Ah.
The last time I did it, I think I was about a year ago. I did like 370 or something.
That sounds like work.
It is. It's really heavy. You got to pick it up and put it back down.
You know what a better plan is?
What?
Hire a big dude to do that shit for you.
I don't know how much bigger, like my guy. I don't know who I'm gonna hire. Maybe Dwayne Johnson's like hungry or something.
Who was the dude in the second Conan?
Oh, wasn't that Wilt Chamberlain?
Was it?
If it's who I'm thinking about, yeah, that's Wilt Chamberlain.
What's he doing these days?
I don't know if he's alive.
You're like, he's dead.
Us big guys, we don't have a long lifespan.
Conan the Destroyer.
Trevor, you're an in shape 44. I'm an out of shape 30. There's a difference. I'm working on it.
See full cast and crew. Yeah, Will Chamberlain.
Nice.
Umbara.
Nice.
Now we jump further down the Google rabbit hole. He died in October of 1999, which makes me sad that I didn't know that.
Wow, that was a while ago.
7'1", 276 pounds. So we can't hire Will.
He's right out.
Well, you know what? Let's just like throw a curve. We'll hire someone small,
Like super tiny.
like 5'1", and like 96 or 97 pounds. And a girl.
Oh, we should hire a girl.
We should hire a girl.
Who do we know like that?
I don't know. We'll have to think about that.
I'll go on Craigslist.
No, we want them to actually know what the fuck they're doing, not one of those girls.
Oh.
Like someone that actually knows more than we do.
Mm.
So we need someone that's like 5 foot, 5'1", fucking tiny, a girl, and knows more than we do.
Mm. But then
We'll think about that.
We're gonna have to take the No Girls Allowed sign off the treehouse.
That's right. No, Trevor. Close, but no. If only we knew someone like that. Wow, I'm dropping all sorts of fucking like hints here in the Google Hangout.
For shitty tips.
I know, right? No, not Tactusy. Eric, just shut up. Come on, brother. Wow, pay them in roses.
That?
No.
Bro, that means a couple.
Let's not go there. Let's not talk about that. Polymer AR lowers. So I'm waiting on Robar to send me one of the Polymar 15 titaniums at some point or another, and I will tell you then. In the past, I've not. Wow.
To give you an idea of like how big Will Chamberlain is.
Wow.
Arnold's not that big of a dude. Like he's stout, but he's not tall. He's only like 6'3".
Now, Nate, if we hire someone like that, we have to be able to afford to pay them, and T is a little out of our price range.
In a heart, Elor, I would that would
Astoria?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Done.
Yeah. That's not no. Oh.
I did just get a new couch.
I know you did. So us standing out in front of that woman's. So we go to pick this couch up, all right, and it is the wife of one of my girlfriend's coworkers, and these people are all doctors, you know, like really fucking well paid doctors. So this house that we are in front of with a U-Haul truck at like 8 o'clock on a Saturday or Friday to pick this couch up at is like a $700,000 house. And we're standing there and we kind of are looking around and I'm like, we're going to get fucking tased and then accidentally shot. This is, anyway.
As you said that, you were like pulling this beanie on that did not help matters.
The top of my head was uncovered and I hadn't gotten a haircut yet. Anyway, all right, fuck it. We're gonna get off.
Phrasing?
Now, did I mean we were gonna end the chat, or did I mean that we were gonna make the chat more interesting?
I'm not walking down.
Why did Ballistic Radio get canceled? Well, they did something in the Clear Channel studio they weren't supposed to do, and then they videotaped it.
Outlaw Radio, woo!
Lights out, Ballistic Radio. Turn that shit up. Anyway, do you guys have anything else real quick? Otherwise, this is done. Yes, no, maybe. Oh, it got quiet in here. Nothing. Sploosh.
Sploosh. Skadoosh.
All right.
All right, guys. Later.
So I did that wrong, though, because I haven't actually turned the webcam off yet because I didn't have it pulled up. So now there's this, like, delay while I haven't done it. Should I do it now?
Yeah, go ahead and do it now.
What about now? I haven't done it yet.
Right
meow?
Right meow?
No. How about right meow?
Right meow?
No, I didn't do that either.
When
should I do this?
Now. Meow?
No. Wait.
Later?
Here. We'll do it on 3. 1.